Hello YouTubers out there, this is the Boob Wasteland show with your host Jerry Saravia, and today I'm discussing something that was actually initially discussed 10 months ago, and that is by Eddie Murphy, actually, in a Rolling Stone interview magazine, that Beverly Hills Cop is returning, but not as the proposed fourth movie in the series, which had been talked about for quite a few years now, but in fact as a CBS TV series. So that's right, Beverly Hills Cop is returning, but as a TV show. And Eddie Murphy is going to be serving as executive producer, along with Sean Ryan, who produced The Shield and The Unit. Eddie Murphy will appear in a couple of episodes. The focus will be on Axel-Foley's son, Aaron Foley, who will be the blue-collar police officer trying to make a name for himself in Beverly Hills, which is rather interesting because when we think back to the trilogy of Beverly Hills Cop films, the last one, Beverly Hills Cop 3, came out in 1994, summer of 94. It seemed as if usually what happens is the character returns to Detroit, his turf, his home turf, and spends some time in Beverly Hills helping his buddies, solve a crime. But at the end of the third film, it seemed like he gets into a little accident, let's say, with a sling around his arm and all this stuff, and this park, Wonderworld, salutes Axel-Foley for helping to save the day, and the park from some drug dealers. I believe it's been a while since I've seen the film, but I believe that's what the focus was in that picture. And Axel falls for a woman that works at the park. But I didn't know that the intention was that they were going to remain in Beverly Hills, although who knows. But apparently this new show is going to be set in Beverly Hills, hence, of course, the title of the show, which I understand. But usually it's, dealing with Detroit first and foremost, and then a retreat out to Beverly Hills. So, anyway, this show is going to be produced. Now, who's playing Eddie Murphy's son, or Axel-Foley's son, remains questionable. I don't think they've come up with any final choices as of yet. Names that were passed around were Donald Glover, who's in the show Community, or Damon Wayans Jr., which wouldn't have been, that's not a bad choice. But so far, I don't think there's any indication just yet about who is going to do the role. But it's interesting Eddie Murphy is returning back to television, because he hasn't since Saturday Night Live, which is going way back now. Anyway, the show's being pegged as a buddy cop show, an hour-long crime procedural with strong comedic elements. And again, the focus on Aaron Foley. I don't think this is a bad idea. Frankly, I've been hoping Axel-Foley would return. I've always enjoyed that character. It's one of my favorite Eddie Murphy characters. I didn't love the third film. I thought it was actually a terrible movie. Although there are some, trademark moments that work with regards to Axel-Foley. But I'm hoping that they make this a fun show, a funny one. If it's on CBS, it ain't going to be that profane either. But who knows? Probably be violent, but not too profane. I guess we'll find out what this entails. It's an interesting idea. It's a way of continuing the show without actually continuing the franchise itself as far as the movies are concerned. So, but there might be some interest in this. I don't know. It seems like a lot of stuff from the 80s has come back in a major way 30 years later. So I guess we'll wait and see what comes up. So I have some hopes for it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm terribly excited, but the fact that Eddie Murphy will appear here and there excites me. So we'll see what happens with that. And until then, this is the Boob Wasteland Show with your host, Jerry Saravia, signing off.